If you're a fantasy reader, you're going to want to tune into this. Welcome back to The Reading Chamber, an online bookstore for young adult fiction. I'm Jess, the owner, and this is our deeper dive into books we sell at The Reading Chamber and YA books I've read last week. Starting off with our deeper dive is A Tune to Make Them Follow by T.A. Lawrence. This is book 2 of the Severed Realms series. This series is retellings of classic fairy tales, and this one is the Pied Piper, which you don't see a lot in young adult fiction, so this is really cool. While this is book 2, it doesn't have to be read in order. There are going to be some hints to book 1, but you can start off with this book if you're so inclined. I've really enjoyed this series so far. I love how imaginative the retelling is, where it has elements of the actual fairy tale, but it is intricately woven into T.A. Lawrence's own world. This follows Piper as she's using her magic to lure children away from broken homes and join forces with the rebellion against the Fae. Marcus is a hired bounty hunter attempting to capture Piper, but of course, feelings get in the way. I loved how adventurous this book was and how we got to see more of the world than the first book. Truly, I think this was my favorite of the two, and if you love a great YA fantasy that has amazing world building, really strong characters, especially a strong female main character, then this book is for you. You can purchase this at thereadingchamber.com. Continuing on with the YA fantasy theme, I read The Soul Collector by Audrey Steves last week. This one did take me longer to finish. I wasn't quite as invested in the story as I wanted to be, especially because the book description was really well done. This starts off with Esme being held prisoner by the king for a crime she didn't commit. When she's broken out of the prison by immortals, she's sent back to her family where she learns that she is what's called a soul collector, and her family owes a debt to the Death Prince. Now, I love the concept of angels versus demons and humans being thrust into the middle of it, especially with Esme's role as soul collector of kind of stealing souls from people for the Prince of Death. But I thought the execution just wasn't as well done as it could have been. There wasn't enough backstory for me. I didn't really understand a lot of the characters' motivations. And to have Aiden just kind of pop up and Esme say, oh, she's never stopped thinking about him, she really liked him, but no mention of him before that, really just kind of threw me through a loop. There just wasn't enough description, enough emotion between the characters to really grip me into this story. I also found it lacking with the plausibility of the book a little bit, because if they're on the run from the king, it didn't really make sense to go closer to the castle. And her family wouldn't let her leave, even though that's the only way to keep him safe, and it cost them in the end. I am still interested to read the next book because I want to see what happens after that ending, but I don't think this is going to be one of my favorites, and unfortunately, I can't really recommend it. But if you are interested in checking this out for yourself, it's great for starting out with YA and building up with YA fantasy, since there is not a lot of world building. It's not going to be very intricate, but it's still a fun read. As a reminder, you can purchase A Tune to Make Them Follow on thereadingchamber.com, and make sure you like and subscribe for more YA book recommendations. Thanks for watching.